Good morning and welcome to another episode on the Retro Brown channel. Today we are doing a solo run with just Nidoking. And this isn't a speed run, but I am trying to get the best times possible. Nidoking and Blastoise are two of the premier speedrunning Pokemon for Pokemon Red and Blue. And I hope that's going to reflect in this video as well, because I am not a speedrunner. I do try and do these runs as quick as I can, but you know what? This could be a very quick run, we'll soon find out. Our rival for today is going to be Tarrant. Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the channel. Let's have a talk about Nidoking. It's got a base stat total of 505, which is pretty damn good in this generation. The majority of that's in its attack, and it's quite evenly spread among the rest of its stats. It starts off with some pretty good moves as well. I mean, not the likes of Poison Sting or Tackle, but Horn Attack and Thrash are pretty good moves to start off with. Thrash in particular because we want to be dealing high damage with our high attack. So once we've chosen our Pokemon, we can give ourselves a go against the first rival. I'm going to make sure that he has Charmander for this because I'm not planning on taking water moves through to the end game here. So let's see how we do. First up, we're just going to use Thrash and Horn Attack, and to be fair, a couple of them pretty much gives us a very easy win. Nidoking is an absolute beast. So let's move on to Viridian Forest, and the reason why we are going to go against quite a few traders in Viridian Forest, yes, we've got some good moves, but they're not good against Brock. So getting a few extra levels in this early game will help us out towards progressing through Brock. With his rock types having really high defense, yeah, we really need to hit hard, we really need to hit fast, and there's nothing else we can really pick up in terms of TMs to vary our moveset at this point in the game. You can only get Water Gun just after you've got past into Mount Moon, so we have to do the best with what we've got here. We even go against a junior trainer, and his Pokemon are quite defensively, well, his Digltt's defensively weak, but his Sandshrew, definitely a lot more to worry about there. Thrash, it's a good move, but it's got that added effect that after about 2 or 3 turns of using it, you confuse yourself, which can't really, in some respects, help us out. We want to be hitting every single turn with big damage, but if we hit ourselves in confusion, our defense is our lowest base stat, meaning we're going to take quite a lot of damage. And in this attempt, we only just get past the Geodude level 13, and then the Onyx just chips us down until we actually fall. Well, we actually fall by our own confusion damage, so this is the drawback of using Thrash. So how are we going to do this differently? Well, Thrash is still doing a hell of a lot of damage and it's worth using. And we got to make sure we keep our HP up when we go into this Onyx. And it is starting to whittle us down a bit, but what we've eventually done is got rid of all of Brock's full heals for his Onyx, and that's just chipping away at him, giving us the opportunity for Thrash to take it down. So at level 14, we can beat Brock as a Nidoking. With that, we can pick up Bides, we can pick up Water Gun in Mount Moon, and progress on to Cerulean City. Now, we're not going to use Water Gun just yet because, to be fair, Thrash is just tearing through every Pokemon that we see, and we're getting through this with very good time. Pick up our Helix Fossil and move on to Misty. But before we go to Misty, I'm going to give the rival a try. If we can beat the rival first time, it gives us a good indication that we can beat Misty. So, switching Thrash from Tackle in our moveset, we can then get through the first 3 Pokemon quite easily. And here we are confused. We do take a little bit of chip, but 2 Thrashes will just take down that Charmander, so we actually do quite well against him. So that brings us on to Misty. Now if we can, she's only got 2 Pokemon, but the Starmie is an absolute tank. And considering we are weak to Water-type moves, she will use her Water-type moves to get through this. So Horn Attack is just not doing enough. We're going to have to switch to Thrash, but it's too little too late and we do take a loss. So let's try that again. I do think it's very possible at this level, but it's going to take a little bit of luck if I'm being honest. We take a Water Gun from the Staryu, and then we just go straight into Thrash. We get a critical hit, giving us a 2-turn Thrash and the win. So that's how you do it. Sometimes you do have to just rely on RNG. And if I was doing a speedrun, I'd probably be looking for how I can actually do this without RNG. But with the way people do it with speedruns, they actually start off with the starter Pokemon, then go find a Nidoran to go and train up. So, next we're on at the SS Sand against the rival, and his Pokemon are really just falling at our feet. Nidoking is an extremely strong Pokemon. It's why speedrunners use it. It gets gets through fights extremely quickly. Normally they don't start off with Thrash because that's a move that it learns via level up. But we should really be winning these fights quite comfortably. We have put Body Slam on our moveset, which is a fantastic move, of course. I always talk about how good it is. And we get a quite comfortable second time win. That brings us on to Surge, who should not be a problem whatsoever. We have that Poison Ground subtype, so there's not really anything that his attacks can do to us. We go into this with not even at full health, but we sweep through his team with Body Slam. We crank up our speed with the Thunder Badge and progress on to Rock Tunnel. But before we got Rock Tunnel, we do have the Rapping Lass, who has been a bit of a hard challenge the last few runs. But with a Nidoking with Body Slam, it's a sweep, absolute sweep. And we are getting up in levels really. I'm not trying to go against many other mandatory trainers. And even the Exploding Hiker in Rock Tunnel is not going to be a problem for us. We've taught Bubble Beam, and from here we just sweep. This is why Nidoking is such a good Pokemon. It's got a very good sweeping potential. And I'm trying to do this run without setting up at all, because if you look at our moveset, there aren't really too many moves that we actually could use to set up on, and if I was going to choose any that didn't confine to my rule set, I'd probably be choosing Double Team, but that's just completely broken, which is why it's banned on my moves on my rule set for these challenges. Anyway, let's talk about the rival in Lavender Tower. As you can see here, we had some trouble against that Execute. Its defenses are pretty damn good, but once you can get past that Execute, which seems to be the biggest problem so far, you can sweep through quite comfortably. We aren't going to keep Bubble Beam all too much longer because we want to go and get Ice Beam. There's a lot more challenges that require Ice Beam over Bubble Beam, and really, we could learn Surf if we really wanted to for the very final rival fight against the Charizard, but we do have Thunderbolt, so considering the move coverage that we need, Ice Beam Thunderbolt probably going to be a lot better for us. And with Erica up next, we definitely need Ice Beam. So, we do get put to sleep by the victory bell, and it just starts razor leaving us down. We wake up in time, and it's just too little too late for her. We just sweep through her team. Petal Dance does get us down to 8 HP, but we hang on, we get the win first time, and we can move on to the next gym leader. But before the next gym leader, we need to open up the game. So we go to Giovanni, we're going to trash on him completely with Ice Beam, and then we'll have to go over to Lavender Tower to open up and get the Poké Flute. It's kind of a little bit of back and forth, and because I play a lot of solo runs, a more linear path would definitely help us out, but it's a Pokemon game, you don't want a linear path half the time, and even in Gen 1, having these deviations on your path really do help out, I feel. It makes a more interesting game. If it was just linear, I don't think Pokemon would have been as successful as it is. You need those little side quests that happen throughout the story. So, once we've picked up the Poké Flute, we are going to go straight to Silphco because we want our top tier move, Earthquake. And the only way we can get it is on floor 10 against this. We have to go against this Rocket, get him out the way with his Machoke. And from there we can go and pick up Earthquake, a Carbos and a Rare Candy. It's a great floor to go to if you need an extra Rare Candy or a little bit of extra speed, but the main reason you come here is for Earthquake if you can learn it. So we're going to get rid of Rock Slide now, because we've got Thunderbolt that can deal with flying types. And from here we'll use the Carbos, just gives us a little bit extra speed, and go against the rival. So the rival here is probably one of the tougher ones in the entire game. The level curve from where he was in Lavender Tower to now is just huge, so we've got to try and beat him down fast, and annoyingly we do get paralysed by the Execute. Thunderbolt should take out the Gyarados in one, but we don't even get a chance after that because of Leech Seed to take on the Alakazam. So we need to try that again, and hope we don't get paralysed, because our speed is decent. We have got really decent speed. We can't outspeed the Pidgeot because speed is probably its best stat. But once we do, we're at level 42 here and we're just sweeping through. And I did have to use some Rare Candies and train up a little bit more just to get up to this level, because it took quite a few tries, but that final Charizard, just after you've gone against that Alakazam, which does outspeed you, you're on quite low HP, so it will just chip you away to finish off the fight. So we did need those extra levels to get through this. Which means Giovanni is going to be a complete sweep. His team doesn't compare to the rivals in Silphco. He's got very obvious weaknesses that you can exploit, but the rival He's got such a diverse team that's what makes him a great rival. Now we've completed Silphcore, we're going to go against a hard gym leader for us. We're going to go against Sabrina. If we can outspeed, this should be an easy fight, but we can outspeed the Kadabra. We can one-shot most of her Pokemon, but the Alakazam's the one I'm afraid of. She uses critical hit Psybeam. Of course it's a critical hit. The Kadabra line has got ridiculously high speed, which also means that they'll get a lot of critical hits. So if we can get through that without them getting a critical hit, or them using Psywave of all things, which always did 3 damage, wow, a Psywave is bad, then yeah, it's quite an easy fight. So when we can dig out of here, we have now got 5 gym badges, meaning we need to go up down to Koga, get another easy gym badge, and from here, we can then move over to Cinnabar once we've completed Koga, get the 7th, and then move on to the final gym leader. So, waking up the Snorlax, we'll move down to Fuchsia, and this should be a very easy sweep. There is no Levitate ability in Gen 1, so the Coffins that would normally have Levitate, very, very easy Pokemon to take out with Earthquake. It's a very easy fight, especially considering the high level we are at right now, but I did have to do a little bit of extra training just to get up those levels for Silphcore. Maybe I could have saved some time if I'd gone down to Koga first, but I wanted to do Silphcore first. We pick up Surf, so we now got it on our Lapras. We go pick up Strength as well for Rock Tunnel, not Rock Tunnel, Victory Road. And from here, we've now got everything we need to go to the league, apart from 2 more gym badges. So, with that, we've taught the relevant HMs to our Pokemon. We're going to get the extra rare candidates here because we are going to need it. And we will surf over to Cinnabar now. I've decided to try and show a few little extra bits on my videos, like how I'm going about these routes. So from here, we'll go into the Pokemon Mansion, and then well, you need to go to the Pokemon Center first, make sure that you reset the dig spawn point. Once you've picked up the secret key, you can go and challenge Blaine. And it only takes like a minute to get through Pokemon Mansion. It takes even less time to do the fight with Blaine, especially with the Nidoking with Earthquake. That only leaves us with Giovanni for the 8th badge. And we are steaming through this run. We are really, really doing this very, very quick. And it really helps when you've got a one-hit KOing machine like Nidoking is. We take down our wife and Nidoqueen, and then we take on the cheating husband. And that just leaves the Rhydon, which goes down to yet another Earthquake. We are steaming through this. But now is a big challenge. We need to go against the rival again, Taran. This is sometimes it's sometimes a hard fight, this one, but I feel like the Silphcore fight is ultimately much harder than this one before the Elite Four. We can sweep through the first couple of Pokemon. Ice Beam is just taking numbers here. Thunderbolt, 4 times effective on the Gyarados. Can we outspeed the Alakazam? We can't, and we're down to... wow, we get confused and then taken out. That's unlucky. I always forget that Psybeam has a chance to confuse. It's Confusion and Confusion and Psybeam both have a chance to confuse, whereas Psychic has the chance to reduce your special. We need to hit hard against this Alakazam, just get out of the way quickly. He sets up a Reflect and then uses Psychic, meaning we're down to 31 HP for the Charizard. That's not a good position to be in. So we're going to use Body Slam. We get it paralysed, giving us the opening to win. So level 51, we are off to the Pokemon League. Now the hardest Elite Four member is going to be Lorelei. Considering we're a Ground-type Pokemon, her moves are really going to hit hard. Thankfully the Dugong does have Rest on his moveset and will spam that. The Cloyster is very specially weak and we put her into healing range. Next up is the Slowbro, who does get a Water Gun off before going down, and next up is the Jinx. We're going to use Earthquake to take it down in 1, and then Lapras, we're hoping... Hydro Pump, of course Hydro Pump comes out. Let's try that again. I don't feel like we're far off at this level, but yeah, that Lapras is going to be an issue. We're level 54 here. Again, the battle pretty much goes the same. Dugong goes into rest range. We take out Cloyster with a critical hit. Slowbro uses Amnesia instead, so we're actually at more HP than we were before. Jinx goes down to an Earthquake, and we're going to go Thunderbolt this time. Hydro Pump hits, and we tank it with 24 HP. We then put her into healing range, and 2 Earthquakes gets us the win. So you know what? I'm happy with that. Bruno, of course, there's not much to talk about with him. We've got every move possible that can just sweep his team. Earthquakes will take down most of his fighting types, and I'm very surprised the Hitmonchan managed to tank an Earthquake. Body Slam will take down the Hitmonlee in 2. We'll take down the Onix in 2 Earthquakes. I really should have used Ice Beam there. And finally, 2 more Earthquakes will take down the Machamp. That recoil damage did matter because we were getting low ranges. And that brings us on to maybe one of the easier Elite Four members for us. We maybe won't outspeed, but what we can do is one-shot our entire team. Ice Beam is just perfect for the Golbat. I mean, we do get confused with Confuse Ray, but we've managed to power through it all our way to the Haunter. We hit ourselves a Confusion again before another Earthquake takes it down, and then an Earthquake takes down the Arbok. Can we outspeed the final Gengar? We can't, but she goes for Dream Eater, meaning that's a very easy win. And that just leaves Lance. So Lance, we should be able to deal with his Gyarados pretty comfortably if we can outspeed. We do, but it's just not enough. But it can't have been a damage range because 2 Thunderbolts did around about the exact same damage. Ice Beam doesn't even take out the Dragonairs in 1, but they are just going to spam Agility because we're a Poison type Pokemon and they've got Psychic type moves. The Aerodactyl uses Hyper Beam and takes us out, so we're going to need another try. We need better luck against the Gyarados so we can tank a Hyper Beam from that Aerodactyl. So let's try this again. We're going to try for the freeze and we get it first time, meaning Thunderbolt will sweep through. We get critical on the Ice Beams, on 2 of the Dragonairs. He uses Bite this time, and we're getting... That's 3 criticals in a row. And then the final Ice Beam doesn't take out the Dragonite in 1. But wow, 3 criticals in a row. That is pretty damn good luck, if I'm being honest. And that brings us to the final rival fight. Taran, let's see how you do here. So first up is the Pidgeot. We're going to use Ice Beam and critical hit it. Next up, the Alakazam is going to do massive damage on us, and we don't have a healing move. So we're going to have to deal with the rest of this fight with 66 HP, and it's worrying that Ice Beam will not take out the Rhydon in 1, considering how bad its special is. We're going to try and take out the Gyarados in 1, but it gets paralysed and use Hydro Pump, meaning this attempt has failed. Let's try that again. Now, I'm going to show you a few attempts at this, because the final rival fight did take me quite a while. And the luck every single time it varied. On this attempt, the Alakazam used Reflect and then used Psychic with a big Psychic, leading us into the Rhydon, and then uses Full Restore. We do get the freeze, and it would have been a great time to have set up a move if we did have one, but we don't, unfortunately. I could learn Mimic over one of my other moves to make sure that we can heal ourselves on Alakazam's Recover, but it's just, yeah, it took a lot of attempts to get to the final run. And when it came to it, Mirror Move Pidgeot, wow, really screwed us over. That's how quick we can lose a fight in this rival fight with a Nidoking. But I'm determined to do this under level 60, so let's try this one last time. This time we go for Thunderbolt, because if she uses Mirror Move, then at least it's not going to hit us, because of our sub-ground type. We get a critical hit Earthquake, and then 2 Ice Beams take down the Rhydon. Executor, it misses this Hypnosis, so we're all the way through to the Gyarados without losing any HP. Hit Hydro Pump does hit us really hard, and we've only got 11 HP to work with. And we just gotta hope, wow, if they had not used Rage, we would have lost there. But we tank on with 1 HP to become the Kanto champion. This was a quick run. We did it under level 60, so let's see what time we got. Level 59, 2 hours 48 minutes, wow. That's an SS tier Pokemon if I've ever seen one. That is a great run. I'm very happy with that. I'm so happy every time I get under 3 hours with these runs, because the average seems to be around about that 3 to 4 hours. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. Let's see what we get next time. The wheel first up is going to be Pidgeot, and I don't know if I'm ready for a Pidgeot run. It is coming up quite a lot on the wheel though. Next up is Golem. That has come up quite a few times on the wheel as well recently, and I haven't done anything from that line for a while, so that might be interesting. Last up is Pikachu. Nah, I don't think I want to do a Pikachu run. It doesn't have any attacking moves until after level 15, so you know what, we're going to go with Golem. Yeah, I think Golem's going to be a good choice. Okay guys, if you have got to this point in the video, please smash that like and subscribe button, it really helps us out. And if you want to watch more of my videos, click one of the ones that have appeared now, and we'll see you next week for Golden Run. Take care.